Alrighty. The mic works. Everything's on go. Pretty much. Should be on go. Should be picking up the recording. I'm checking the timer. So, yeah, you know, y'all ain't gonna get the first part of it. I blew the horn. Like I went like this here. Oh, wow. Almost on at me. Alrighty. I blew it a long time the first time. First time was good, man. Too bad you couldn't hit it the first time, but that's how it be. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to go over a short lesson. It kind of reminded me of a lesson I did on, how would I call it? Witches and something. I forgot the title. Something to do with witches. But this one's called about, sorcery and sorceries. This I'm gonna name it this. It's gonna be sort of like supposed to be an upgrade, really, but I ain't really going on for that basis. It's just that I want to deal with this topic because there's something going on. And matter of fact, let me say this: it's gonna be a video either before this lesson or after the lesson, at the end of the lesson. That's all I can say. It's gonna give you an example of what's being done in 2022 of a sorceress that's known in the so-called unconscious community. So y'all already know where that's going. So, but that's for later. Y'all see that later. Let me get into this short. I hope it'll be a short lesson. Let's go to. Just want to go over a few precepts. Let's go over. Revelations 18. Revelations 18. We're going to start with Revelations 18. What is this? What's going on here? What did that thing pop up like that for? Okay, Revelations 18 and verse 2. It reads, and I should start up. Well, y'all read too. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right? And we're going to read on to the third verse. It reads, For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. For me, I want to go to Revelations 9 and 21. It reads, Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. Why? Showing you that even in John is reflecting not only of the time of the Romans, but of the Romans of these time, which is modern day Babylon in America, that in these last days this will be going on, because this was a prophecy. He was prophesying on the Isle of Patmos. So this is what he was showed. And the last kingdom and our last captivity is in what? Babylon, America. So these evil things are being done. And I'm going to really get into it because I don't want to, rush. I really want to hopefully take my time because one of my lessons I taught last, it was a precept that was very key, that was important, that I left out accidentally. And mind you, I had my notes and everything. I had everything written down, so there would be no mistakes. So from there, let's go to Isaiah, because I mentioned Babylon, America, right? From there, let's go to Isaiah. Everybody should know this one too. We're all those that season. Isaiah. These are very familiar, should be very familiar precepts, but it's a very important topic because I'm gonna go where no other's gone. That's my whole plan today. And give you basically a thorough understanding of this, what's going on in this evil. Some things you may be conscious of and some things you just not. Right? Isaiah 47, verse 9, it reads, "But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments." And they're still doing that. That's nothing, how you say, metaphorically about it. It's exactly what it says. Look up each word. Because that's what's being done in Babylon, America. It's a matter where the Most High reveal it to you, or where you see it. Because everything is either is where some things are done in secret and some things are done in openly. There's the media of all types, whether it be TV, cable, internet, because that took the place of that's the new TV. In case you were wondering, it's pervasive, and they're so bold with it now. Because of the internet, you got social media. And because of social media, you got different platforms. So you're bound to see somewhere on one of the popular platforms. And I'll let you figure out which ones are that. Right? From there, we're going to jump down to the 12th verse. "Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, when thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail." From there, we're going to go to the 13th verse. "Thou art wearied in thy multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that should come upon thee." Right, because he's talking to a kingdom, a people in a kingdom. A particular group of wicked, evil people. And they are of all nationalities. You gotta say that. All nationalities. So, you'll see what I'm talking about at the end of this lesson. Right? From there, let's go. Oh yeah. What's one that's pervasive in the community and people overlook? And the scripture told us that. Now, everybody have their own, journey, right, in life and what they experience. But this is something, how you say, quietly and secretly overlooked. This is in the newspapers. Horoscopes. You can find them in some of the most popular magazines today. Inquirer and all them other ones. But horoscopes, you got people doing that. That's another form of sorcery. The Most High told us not to be. That's why I read that way. He said, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee. Yeah, because a lot of women go into that. Not just women, some of these men, but really the women drag the men into that. I don't care what nationality it is. They always be that woman. Because why? The woman is the weaker vessel. Just like in the beginning of the Garden of Eden is the same today. You'll find the same manners. It's the same pattern going on. Right? So from there, let's go to let's read what this says in the book of Deuteronomy about that. Deuteronomy 18. Everybody should know it. And like I said, a lot of these precepts will be familiar, but it's going to be more to it than you think. Deuteronomy 18 and verse 9. "When thou art come into the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations." Why? Because those nations were doing that. In the beginning, they always did that. Go off into the things that was contrary to the laws of the Most High. We were given the righteous laws, not, and we were told through Moses what to do and what not to do. We was given the do's and don'ts of the Most High, and those was the laws of the Bible: moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and even the laws of sacrifice. Okay, which are temporarily done away with. So we were given those 5 sets of laws, and 4 is the one required now, mainly. Okay, so that was given to us, no other people, only to the nation of Yasharahla. Right? I'm going to read it on from there. It says, 11th verse, it says, no, 10th verse. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or observer of times, or enchanter, or a witch. 11th verse. A charmer or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Okay? A consultant with familiar spirits, or a wizard. So people that's conjuring, think they conjuring people on the other side, well, really they conjuring demons. And that's what you call familiar spirits, or a wizard. A necromancer is somebody who sleep with the dead bodies, who have sex with dead bodies. That's what a necromancer is. You can look that up. Okay, you ain't got to take my word for it. Look it up, every word, okay? 12th verse. For all that do these things, for all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahweh. And because of these abominations, Yahweh thy power doeth drive them out from before thee. 13th verse. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power. This is in the law. He said, thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power. That's the 13th verse, man. That's some verse a lot of people look over. You know, just read and just overlook. All right, now from there, let's go to Acts. The book of Acts, right? The book of Acts. So this is how important it is to do to what the Most High requires of us. The book of Acts, 8th chapter. Y'all should be familiar with the story too. The book of Acts and the 9th verse reads, But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was some great one, to whom they all gave heed from the least to the greatest, saying, This man is the great power of Yahweh. Now, this is what they were calling a man that's practicing sorcery. Right? 11th verse. And to him they had prepared, and to him they had regard, because that of long time he had a witch. Salat, for a long time he had bewitched them with sorceries. So this was a man practicing sorcery. Just to show you what was done back then, even with the apostles, they came across, our people was into this evil. These was our people, Israel, that was doing this evil back then, right? That's just to show you an example, right? His name was Simon of Samaria. From here, we're going to jump to Revelations 13. Revelations, like I said, I'm going over going over this a brief topic. I'm going to jump from there to Revelations 13. And if you read on in the story, he came across Paul, ended up rebuking him, and the Most High shut his evil powers down. I hate to spoiler alert, but hey, you can read the story on your own for those who haven't picked up the Bible. Right? Let's go on to Revelations 13 chapter. And we're going to go to the 16 to the 18 verse. I know it's a point. I don't know if I highlighted it. I don't know what, let me see. 13th chapter and then 16. Right. Okay, this is referencing, I guess, the Antichrist. Revelations 13, that's why I went to 16 to 18 verse. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. Let me see. What was my point? I also bringing that. Right. So yeah, that's the clip. Also, the controversy. There was a video I had on my BitChute channel. You had other brothers back in the days. It's an old video. Somebody found it and clipped the videos together. I didn't do it. I just copied it. Let's get that straight. Okay. But some people in there were surprised. So he said, those that are would this is we in the process of this is now. You can check that video out online. This a lot of people was debating, oh, it just means spiritual seal and not physical. And they found out, those that didn't believe find out, because you have people, certain brothers mocking it, but we find it out, no, this was their game plan. And there's a video on my channel, I forgot the title of it. I think it was, I ain't gonna say no names, but you gotta scroll through it. There's a lot of videos up there. So you gotta just go to the video and just scroll down and you'll see the title. And yeah, it's not only was it spiritual, but it was physical as well. It does mean a chip. It does mean a physical mark as well. Because they're explaining in the video. I didn't got to say no more. That's why I said go to my BitChute channel, KSharm7, and you'll see the videos. All right? So that's also a form of sorcery. That's my point. It's a physical manipulation. Because before this was, matter of fact, this was also in the book Behold the Pale Horse. That was out way before. That was out since 1990. You could, it's documented basically. It's documented. It's physical proof of that. Just like they use robotics and every other technology. Yeah, that was their end game. That was their goal. And a lot of people that didn't believe was finding out, damn, he was right. Yeah, why wouldn't you believe that? Technology been around for decades, man. So why wouldn't you believe that what the Bible say? But that's a physical form of manipulation, and they really are going to want people to put that in the physical one, chip, in a hand or forehead. And that's a form of physical sorcery. That's my whole point of bringing that point out. I'm going to go to other examples that a lot of you probably didn't think of, but you've probably seen it, but didn't really put thought to it. Let's go to Micah. Let's go to Micah. Micah 2:1. Micah 2:1. Right? Micah 2:1 reads, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in their power of their hand. And they covet fields, take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, against the family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. And that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, we but utterly spoiled, he have changed the portion of my people, how have he removed it from me? Turning away, he have divided our fields. Therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of Yahweh. So let's talk about here, basically, first of all, how the so-called white man did that to us as a people. And he's still doing. Presently, he's invading, he's over there in Somalia. Today is what, May the 21st of 2022. So right today, he's in Somalia. What is the white man doing in Somalia today? Like, them people ain't catching enough hell. But that's how he is. He has an agenda. Because he's trying to keep hold of the earth. So he's going to do whatever he think he need to do and go in there. And cause all types of hell. Because that's all he's created. That's all he's done. That's his track record. A hellraiser. In the earth. Because why? He is Satan anointed. I know y'all don't like to hear that, some of you. But that's facts. If you know your Bible, you know that is what it is. The Bible is a history book, not a religious book. It's a history book first. That's why all nations read it, even the so-called elite, even though they'll never admit it. But they do. So you need to keep that in mind. Alright. From there, let's go to Psalms 89. Let's go to Psalms 89 chapter. Give me some light. Psalms 89 chapter and the 13th verse. Thou hast a mighty arm, strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand. Right. So you probably want, well, what are you reading that for? We're going to read it again. Thou hast a mighty arm, strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand. Referring to who? The Most High. The right hand always represented righteousness. And the left hand always represented evil. We just doing things according how he says. Because it said what? Because the Most High is the power. I read, because you know how it reads in Isaiah 45. Let me see him get it. I don't want to quote it. I'm going to get it. Isaiah 45, and I'm going to read this too for edification. To clear things up, because I don't want y'all to spread no rumors. Okay? Isaiah 45 and 7. How it reads. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So that's why I said what I said about the right and the left. Okay, so all the power belongs to Yahweh. All power. When you read Job 1 and 6, you think that's talking about? You say you got an answer to the Most High. So there's no accident. And, like I said, this is a short lesson, right? Almost finished. Right? We're going to go through Proverbs 3. We're going to read Proverbs 3 and 16. Almost finished. Proverbs 3 and 16. Right? 16 verse reads, What the days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Right? Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. The way they're talking about, who's the her? Wisdom. Let's jump up, go up a few verses, you see what I'm talking about. Right? It says, 13th verse. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. So it's talking about wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. So all that come from who? The Most High. There's the Most High wisdom and knowledge. Let's go to Job. Job 6. Job 6 chapter and the 23rd verse reads, 22. Did I say, bring unto me, or give a reward for me of your substance? Or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of the mighty? So this is a question he's asking to Job. Or Job, this is Job complaining to the Most High. But that's a question too. 24 verse, teach me and I will hold my tongue, and cause me to understand when I have erred. So this is Job complaining to the Most High, because you know he was afflicted. From there, let's go to Psalms 31. Psalms 31. We're still dealing with the top of the story. I didn't forget. Let's go to Psalms 31 and 15. Right, because you're supposed to ask for wisdom and guidance from the Most High. You don't need to go off into the evil and to sorcery and all that wickedness. Okay, that's what Job did. Job was asking the Most High when he was being afflicted. That was the point of me reading those precepts, to give you more understanding. You know, let's go to Job 31 and 15. It reads, "My times are in thy hands. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies, and from them that persecute me." So this is King David crying to the Most High about that, because he was being afflicted. You don't think the nations were working sorcery and witchcraft and all types of evil? So here's David being afflicted, and he crying to the Most High. And this is what he asking the Most High: "My times are in thy hand," meaning my life is in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies, and from them that persecute me. So he was being afflicted on all ends too, right? And I'm going to go right from here and go into some examples. Let me hold this precept while God is on my mind, so I don't forget it. Let's go to, I want to hold it. I'm going to go and expound a little bit. And the next one we're going to go to is in Exodus. I don't know why. I don't know if that precept had to do with it, but I wrote it down. I don't think it has to do. Oh, okay. I understand where I'm going with that one. Right. Okay, now I understand why I wrote that one down. So I would have to go into some other precepts to give proper understanding of that precept. And I'm trying to remember the one that comes to my mind. But I'm going to expound a little, because I don't want to hold y'all here like that. So just bear with me for a few seconds, but I'm gonna expound a little on the different types. A lot of you have probably seen my videos and probably wondered why I went to certain topics. Some were old topics, technically. It's like 2 years old, and I basically got to expound on two things I'm gonna talk about. Right? I'm going to find this precept real quick. Right, okay. Okay, I got it. Alright, so I'm going to go into this real quick. Exodus 13. Exodus 13 chapter and the 6th verse. It's one of the high holy days we had last month dealing with that. And I got to go into Exodus 13 and 6 is one precept. Right? It reads, 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast to Yahweh. 7th verse, unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. You probably saying, why are you going into that? Still dealing with, leaven. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 5 and 8, or 5 and 6, and we're going to read down. 1 Corinthians 5 and 6. It reads, your growing is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? 7th verse. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ of Mashiach, our Passover is sacrificed for us. 8th verse. Therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with leaven of malice and wickedness, but with unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. So it's basically saying put away sin and wickedness, and he just named something, malice, because he knows Israel. Who knows us better than the Most High? Right? Nobody. So only the Most High knows us, and that's why that was required. Now I'm going to go into the examples I want to deal with and expound on a little. What's a physical form of sorcery? We're dealing with the physical form of sorcery. One of the physical forms of sorcery a lot of people overlook, and that's drugs. Where are they at today? What's the name of them today? And pharmacies all over the place. Yeah, a lot of people have addictions. You have the opioid crisis. But Esau, you got other addictions, dope, crack, dope, whatever, cocaine. You got all those other addictions, and a lot of them. But now, because of opioids are sold in where? Pharmacies. And what is the meaning of pharmacy? The root word of pharmacy comes from pharma, which means house of magic. In the Greek, it means house of magic. Look it up. That's a form of sorcery. That's why it reads that way in I can go to Romans. I'm going to go to Corinthians. Let's read that one. Corinthians 3 and 17. Let's read that first. If any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy. For the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are, meaning children of Yasha'Allah. Those of Negroid descent, children of Yasha'Allah. Your temple is holy. You don't supposed to defile it with drugs, excess of alcohol, because you can drink, but you got to drink in moderation. Those that have addictions, you don't need to drink. It's flat out. Those that have past habits, you need to supposed to cut them off when you repent. That's part of repentance. Putting away your sins and no longer doing them and going back to those sins and habits and addictions and all that. Now I'm going back to the source. Pharmacy means house of magic. And that's the same thing they showed you in the damn Disney movies when it's putting portions and put it in all animation and all that. It's the same thing done in real world. It's called pharmacy. That's what they do. Am I lying? Now you see, put it together. What's another physical form? And a lot of Israelites don't talk about it. And I gotta say, I was one of the first ones to really go in on it about 2 years ago. Transgenders. That's a form of physical manipulation of the body. It's a form of sorcery. When you can take a man that was a boy that was born a male and change him and have him looking like a girl. And I'm talking beyond the transgender, beyond just wearing the clothes. I'm talking about when they go into getting operations and taking hormone therapy. Yeah. That's what happened with some of these entertainers out in Hollywood and in the music industry. And you don't even know it. That's why I put up those videos. I put up what you call documentaries. I don't just throw up videos. I do that maybe on another platform, but on certain platforms like BitChute and YouTube, not YouTube no more, BitChute.com, I put up documentaries. And it's a difference. Okay, I put up documentaries. I don't just throw up videos. I put up documentaries where I expound on certain topics. Even if I just read a scripture, I'm giving you understanding of a topic. I'm going in and getting the facts. And just like when I just told you about, because a lot of these entertainers, hip hop, whatever, they are every form of music, every form of entertainment. And that damn transgenderism is a damn devil and a demon, and there's laws against that in the Bible. And y'all know them. And I ain't just talking about Leviticus 20 and 13. I'm talking about Deuteronomy 23 and 1. I'm talking about Deuteronomy 22 and 5. I'm talking about Romans 1 and 21 to 32. So there and other precepts, many precepts on it. So this is the sorcery, the physical manipulation and the sorcery that is being practiced in Babylon the Great. And these are the evils of this kingdom, man. This is why the Most High got to clean up Yasha'Allah. That's why it reads the way it reads in Jeremiah 4 and 4 and in Isaiah 4 and 4. That's why it reads that way. Because it's this nation that got to get cleaned up. That's why it reads that way in Ezekiel 36 and 24 on down. That's why it reads that way. Because you've been watching this on your media and that damn cable and TV and definitely on that internet. It's more pervasive there than anywhere. And you don't really catch it or check your children or catch it yourself to remove the filth from yourself. Because you've been thinking you've been watching something normal when it's totally been abnormal. The example of the videos I put on that channel prove that. That's why I put it up there. So let you see what you've been watching for decades that got past you. Now you see why the prophecy read that way in Ezekiel 36 chapter. But this is sorcery. That's what it is. That's sorcery, a physical manipulation. Then, like I said, at either the beginning or the end of this video, you might have to break it up and be separate, but it will be on one of these platforms, whether it be Rumble or BigShoot.com. You will see the videos that I'm referencing to and seeing what our people are doing. So it wasn't just of past, of ancient time. What was prophesied is being practiced in this modern day Babylon, Egypt, and Sodom and Gomorrah, which is called America. And in Israel, for that matter. And in our homeland, Israel. How about that? So with that, I'm going to say shalom. Hope you got something out of this lesson. Y'all can go back and read the story in the book of Acts, 8 chapter, 9th verse down. Y'all can read that whole chapter on your own. But I'm going to end this segment in this video. And I basically, like I said, it's going to be a short video. I just want to give you understanding of the evils that are being done and where you got to be aware. That's why Hamashiach Yahushua kept telling us, watch as well as pray. And that's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do in these evil times. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.
And by the way, when they said son never had AIDS, I addressed that. I said he doesn't. He has lupus. I explained it. Now you have to explain why this lady is looking for you.
I mean, I didn't take it. My AIDS test didn't come out positive. Your husband's did.
No, but why don't you show us?
I mean, if you really want to get technical, Sarnetta tested positive for AIDS. You talking about a rumor? Sarnetta tested positive.
Hey, why don't you reach out to the lady?
Did Sarnetta tested positive?
Hey, why don't you?
Did he test positive? That means you could possibly have AIDS. So I think your worries are much bigger than some allegedly shit about me.
Too far, man. Y'all going too far, y'all. Y'all going too far.
Who is that? Is that anonymous?
That's what I'm saying.
But your man was tested positive for HIV.
Thank God, I didn't think you have it. I said somebody's tracking you down. Did you want to me demons and
It's not hard to track me down. I'm in the public. What would be your purpose of doing that? When your man tested for HIV, you're known to be an internet whore. You walk around, you was dating Solar, he dumped you. You ran to everyone, and then you ran to a man who knew Solar. On the street, you would get somebody killed. You're a whore known on the internet. You're lying about teaching. You got exposed, and so you go into all this shit. And your husband, that nigga's responsible for scamming half the fucking conscious community with Brother Polite. You're a part of that now. So welcome to the Black Illuminati, witch. Let's bring it out. And you're not black. Sola told me your mother said that to never call her black. She said she's Indian. And you admitted that to me on the phone with Rob. And by the way, why did you call me the other night? Tell the people what you called me for. Oh, to get information about the serpent in the garden for your debate? Oh, that's what I thought.
Okay, my name is Sister Noble. and I want to address something that I found out earlier. I found out that Sonetta had called me the B word on one of his shows, and I just want to talk about that. A YouTuber had wrote a comment under one of my videos saying that she doesn't know why I care about what happens to Sonetta. And she also said that she saw one of his videos in which he called me the B word. So, I hadn't seen any of his videos lately. I haven't been watching them. I've unsubscribed from both of his channels. I've unsubscribed from the H.I.S platforms as well. And, I haven't been watching their videos. So, I just have to address this because, for the past 3 weeks, I've been lighting the H.I.S ass up. I've been lighting her ass up, letting everybody know how